This is truly one of the worst plays in Pokemon Unite, and it is costing you games if you are doing this. Hi, Jake, your resident content cowboy here, Yeehaw, and this tweet from Peak got me thinking. The only Dreadnought that exists in Pokemon Unite is the Dreadnought that spawns at 2 minutes, 23 seconds. My whole team will always show up for this Dreadnought, but not for the other ones. My entire team is now dead until 1 minute 45. Zapdos is gone, we lose. It's beautiful, perfect, and shockingly true. It's interesting because this final Dreadnought has very, very little value, yet somehow people throw themselves at it. Kind of reminds me of Ryan Gosling. No, he's actually very good though. But this final Dreadnought is trouble. In the immortal words of Admiral Akbar,
proceed with the countdown.
Huh, that can't be it. What was I thinking?
It's a trap!
There it is. It's a trap. So why is this a bad play? Why does this final Dreadnought have such very little value? And why are players throwing themselves at it? This got me thinking, and when I get to thinking, I put on my thinking glasses. Come on, glasses. Ah! Oh, ow! Hey, I poked myself with my glasses. Well, I don't know. What do you call the mayor for then? If you watch a lot of my videos, then obviously you know how important first Dreadnought is. It's the most important objective inside the game outside of Zapdos, and honestly, they're both pretty close in some respects. First Dreadnought gives your team a lot of experience early on. It helps Pokemon that are stuck and can't evolve into evolving, so a Wartortle becomes a Blastoise. Your carry Pokemon, if they didn't have it yet, have their Unite moves. You basically get first Dreadnought, and then you can win a big fight, then you can win the next fight. You can start really stepping on the gas and snowballing a match once you have attained first Dreadnought. From there, the Dreadnoughts have diminishing returns. Second Dreadnought is still a very important fight, but third Dreadnought seems to be one of the biggest baits in Pokemon Unite.
That's bait.
In fact, this is a time where Rotom is finally better, a lot better. Final Rotom is way better than Final Dreadnought. I actually think the biggest issue with the Final Dreadnought fight is not the Dreadnought itself, and not that it has very little value and the shields don't help you too much. The big issue is that a team seems to show up to it and think that we are fighting for Zapdos in that moment. While this can turn into the Zapdos fight, which is essentially a way of speaking about what would be the final big team fight inside the match, it's often unnecessary, and a lot of unskilled players seem to throw their Unite moves and get KO'd at this fight for very, very little value. Again, the shields, the experience, they don't mean that much right here at the end. There's no way to be able to quantify this correctly, but the team that throws more Unite moves at that Dreadnought and doesn't really get a lot of value for it will probably end up losing the match, because they're going to lose the next fight that's about to happen at Zapdos. Now, of course, if you've thrown a Unite move at 2 minutes and 5 seconds and you are all kind of fighting between Dreadnought and Zapdos, I get it. I understand what's happening here. This is essentially the final fight of the match. But what happens a lot of time is 1 or 2 members from your team walk all the way down to this Dreadnought after the team is calling let's gather in the center, or the team is calling retreat. They walk down there, they use their Wigglytuff Unite on just themselves, or your Charizard unites trying to, I don't know, stop 5 members of the enemy team. It doesn't work out. You have big KO timers. The enemy walks right up to Zapdos and wins the match. I implore you, if you are making this play, just stop. Just stop it. Don't do it anymore. Zapdos is so much more important. It will be here in just a moment. Save your Unite move, save your health, gather up, get ready for a big fight and a big win at Zapdos. It has so much more value than you throwing your Unite move away as you try to solo Dreadnought in this bottom path. This is truly a play that is throwing the game away for yourself and for your team. I would highly recommend that you take this out of your arsenal if it's something you do. The reason I think players do this is because they panic. I honestly think it's a panic move. You're about to get KO'd, you throw your Unite move, and then you realize after the fact, oh no, we're about to fight for Zapdos. I am now KO'd because I couldn't get out of this situation and I don't have a Unite move. Then your team loses and you go online to talk about how bad they were. You might be asking, what's the correct play here? Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with having some presence at this fight and just making sure that the enemy doesn't rip it away for free. But in anything other than full coordinated play, I think if you don't have a very good hold of the game and you're going to possibly lose because of this move, just give it up. Again, there is such little value to this Dreadnought. Honestly, just walk away from it. One nice thing is, if you know that the enemy team has secured Dreadnought, you probably know how they're coming into the Zapdos pit from below through that section. So just hide in those little L bushes right there. Get ready to ambush them and win this fight. Zapdos is so much more important. Save your Unite move for it. Win more games. Let me show you a few examples of some top teams and what they do with Final Dreadnought. Here we have Game & Gladiators and IX Gaming from the most recent finals going up against each other here, and we can see Dreadnought is spawning in the bottom path with about 30 seconds left, and the pressure is here in the top path towards this Rotom. They both would rather have this Rotom pushing towards the enemy goal than even deal with this Dreadnought. You can see a Hoopa and Blissey down in the bottom path for both teams, but otherwise the fight is happening up here because they recognize this pressure from the Rotom is a lot better than whatever that Dreadnought could get you, especially in a moment like this. And again, these are two of the best teams in the world, completely ignoring Dreadnought. Two top EU teams here, 5i and Apprentice Unleashed in the May finals. You can see Dreadnought is spawning in about 5 seconds here, so there's going to be enough time to take it. And you'll see a few members of each team are near this Dreadnought posturing. They would like to get it if they could, putting some damage down on it. But you can see both teams being careful here, looking for a possible steal. But no one wants to get KO'd. No one wants to throw the fight away. Both teams leave Dreadnought and run back to Zapdos right here, not overcommitting at all. Here we have Full Send and IX Gaming. This Dreadnought here is spawned with plenty of times for both teams to fight it here. Full Send's not in a great position to take it, and they're not going to push it. They're going to let IX Gaming have this Dreadnought, recognizing that it is not that important to whether or not they can win this match. I could really do this all day, but here we have 5i and DZ from the European May finals, and you can see this Rotom is pushing up here. 5i was able to send this towards DZ. DZ dealing with this Rotom right now, and they're not in a great position to fight over this final Dreadnought. They don't really care too much about it. You can see even Blastoise just focusing on getting its level 13 right here. 5i has the ability to rip this. They'll try to secure it with a Hyper Voice there from Sylveon, but they're totally fine with the fact that they might not secure this. It does not matter that much. These top teams recognize that there is very little value in this final Dread. Would they like it? Sure, it's extra experience and some extra shields, but it's not going to be the difference maker, and it won't be for you in your matches either. For a little bit of contrast here, let's just take a look at Game & Gladiators against IX Gaming here in the May finals and what they do over first Dreadnought. Now, they have an interesting fight here up top where Toon is able to make a catch and get a KO. So their teams are not all here, but look at the amount of moves they are throwing down and the level at which they fight at this first Dreadnought. They recognize how incredibly important it is. Both teams fighting, they're going to end up fighting and resetting, coming back down for this fight. Lucario, after being knocked out, is now running down here to fight at this Dreadnought. Again, it's all hands on deck because there is so much value early. We can even see that Toon here has a Unite move. They use a Unite move to secure that Dreadnought. The opposite would basically never happen. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. In the immortal words of Ryan Gosling,
I wrote you every day for a year. It wasn't over. Still isn't over.
Goodbye, everybody.